under the huge Texas sky. Everything seemed quiet for a moment, but motorsport never stays peaceful for long. In racing, one lap, one mistake, or one mechanical problem can completely change the direction of an entire weekend before the race has even begun. That was exactly the case at Texas Motor Speedway, where qualifying became much more than a routine session. Instead of simply deciding the starting order, it created a tense and dramatic story filled with frustration, missed chances, and one breakthrough performance that instantly grabbed everyone's attention. While some of the sport's biggest names were left trying to recover from setbacks, Carson Hocevar stepped forward with a lap that turned him into the center of the conversation. Texas has always been one of those tracks that tests the driver's nerve as much as their speed. It is not the kind of place where anyone can just settle in and expect things to go smoothly. The pace is intense, the room for error is tiny, and every corner demands confidence. That is why qualifying mattered so much even before the cars went out. Everyone understood that track position could shape the race. Momentum could carry into Sunday, and any trouble in practice could leave a team with almost no time to recover. That pressure became very real for Bubba Wallace. Early in the weekend, he looked strong enough to be considered a real threat, and his speed in practice suggested he might have something special for qualifying. But then everything changed with a crash. In motorsport, moments like that do more than damage a car. They change the emotional state of an entire team. 1 second there is excitement, belief, and a sense of opportunity. The next second there is damage, disappointment, and a desperate effort to regroup. Wallace never got the chance to make his qualifying run, and that made his day one of the most frustrating stories in the field. At a track where confidence could mean everything, he had to stand back and watch the session unfold without being able to prove what his car could really do. Dillon's situation was different, but no less disappointing. His problem did not come from contact with the wall. Instead, it came from the kind of issue that can quietly ruin a weekend before the green flag ever drops: a mechanical setback. An engine change took qualifying out of his hands, and in a sport where timing and preparation are everything, that kind of problem can erase hours of work in an instant. Qualifying is supposed to be about raw pace and perfect execution, but sometimes the real battle happens behind the scenes in the garage. For Dillon, there was no opportunity to attack the track, no chance to fight for a strong starting spot, and no easy way to avoid the frustration that comes with losing control of your own weekend. While those setbacks shape part of the story, Carson Hocevar created the headline. Some pole-winning laps feel expected, especially when they come from drivers who are already seen as favorites. This was different. Hocevar delivered a lap of 28.222 seconds, and it was not just fast enough to lead the field. It was the kind of run that changes the entire mood of a race weekend. It was sharp, composed, and delivered at exactly the right moment. In a session where the field was extremely tight and small details separated the best from the rest, Hocevar found the speed he needed and turned it into a statement. What made the moment even bigger was the quality of the competition behind him. Daniel Suarez was incredibly close. Chris Buescher was right in the fight, and experienced contenders like Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, Kyle Busch, Christopher Bell, Tyler Reddick, Alex Bowman, and Ty Gibbs were all near the front as well. This was not a weak lineup, and it was not a pole position handed over because the favorites failed to appear. Hocevar earned it against serious talent, against drivers who know how to win, and against teams that understand how to turn track position into race day control. That is why this result feels more important than just a number on the timing sheet. Pole position is not only about starting first. It changes how the paddock sees you. It changes how the race is discussed. It changes how the drivers behind you think about the opening laps. Suddenly, Hocevar was no longer just one more name in the field. He became the driver everyone had to focus on first. He had the best starting spot, the advantage of clean air, and the confidence that comes from delivering when the pressure is highest. At the same time, Texas rarely allows one storyline to exist by itself. Hovering over the weekend was the presence of Hendrick Motorsports, a team with a strong history at this track and a reputation that always adds pressure to the rest of the garage. Even without taking the pole, that kind of organization remains dangerous. Everyone in the field knows that being quick over one lap is one challenge. But keeping that speed over a full race against a proven powerhouse is something completely different. That is what makes this weekend so compelling. On one side, You have Hocevar stepping into the spotlight with a performance that could become a defining moment in his rise. On another side, you have Wallace and Dillon trying to recover from circumstances that denied them a fair shot at qualifying. Around them is a field full of experienced and aggressive drivers who will be looking for any opportunity to turn the order upside down once the race begins. And that is the real question now. Can Hocevar turn one brilliant lap into full race control? Can he handle the pressure of leading into turn one, manage restarts, deal with tire wear, and stay calm when the pack starts to close in? Starting from pole gives a driver momentum, but it also puts a target on their back. Everyone behind him will see the front bumper of his car as the first obstacle standing between them and the lead. That is why this qualifying session felt like more than just a pre-race procedure. It felt like a warning that this weekend could swing in any direction. It showed how quickly speed can disappear when bad luck strikes, how important the garage can be before the race even starts, and how one perfect run can completely reshape the conversation. Carson Hocevar may have won the first battle in style, but at Texas, the real test always comes later. The stopwatch gave him the spotlight, but now the race will decide whether that spotlight becomes a breakthrough victory or only the beginning of an even bigger twist.